Now, the highly anticipated 2026 Colorado State Hurricane Center University Hurricane forecast is out, for it calls for a slightly less active Atlantic season, influenced by an El Nino pattern. 13 named storms are predicted, 6 of which are expected to become hurricanes, and 2 of those are forecast to be major storms. But as Fox Weather hurricane specialist Brian Norcross reminds us, even a quieter season only takes one storm to turn dangerous.
El Niños tend to suppress hurricane activity, certainly the talk here, but everybody here that studies hurricanes obviously knows that it only takes one. There's a long history of El Nino seasons that have produced damaging and disruptive hurricanes, so we're not taking our eye off the ball, and there's nobody here that is planning in any kind of different kind of way.
Mike Boylan of Mike's Weather Page joins us now to speak about this year's predictions. Mike, I always look forward to, seeing this coming out over the next couple of months. And, a lot of folks look at the CSU's forecast and really take it to heart. I mean, people hear especially about the El Nino, or the season could be less active than average, and may think they're possibly in the clear when it comes to being affected by a hurricane. We definitely know that's not the case. We've seen that isn't quite the case. And sometimes there are actually 1 or 2 major hurricanes that can cause some serious, serious damage, like we did see in 2023, an El Nino season that was very, very active. Can you talk a little bit about that kind of scenario for us?
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, I've already been approached a bunch this year, folks hearing about El Nino and, oh man, we're going to have a quiet year. They got their pom-poms out. And I'm like, man, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer to that. We've seen plenty of El Nino years, produce hurricanes, and even like 18. I mean, it wasn't a strong El Nino, but we had Florence and Michael, of course, and then 23, as you mentioned, Idalia was another pretty strong El Nino year. And what I've seen is that Caribbean might be a high shear zone, and we don't see a lot of action, but somehow Mother Nature finds other ways. They find, the Gulf, the upper part of the Bahamas there has been notorious. Gene and Francis, was an El Nino year in 04. So, yeah, we can't let our guards down. It only takes one. Everybody gets so wrapped up in the number game, but it's really only comes down to a few systems that we worry about a year that might impact us,
Yeah, exactly. When we saw that even this past year with Jamaica, too, it just a devastating storm out there. And I like that you mentioned it, too, the temperatures of the water. I mean, we're even kind of looking at the Atlantic, still slightly above normal temperatures possible there, and that could, counteract some of that wind shear as well. And you mentioned the Gulf. Very warm still. What are your thoughts on, especially with the Gulf? We didn't see too much action from this past year, but some untapped energy definitely still exists there.
Right. I mean, last year, it was supposed to be a busy season. Now, it kind of was. We had 3 5s and a 4, and as you mentioned, Jamaica. But, a lot of folks judge a busy season based on if they're impacted or not, and I always bring up 22. That was only 2 storms hit the U.S. that year, and it was Ian and Nicole. And nobody said 22 was a slow season, So, like you mentioned, the water temps are. I look at a lot of long range model data, and it's supposed to be above normal, and things like that can offset maybe some of these El Nino effects. And I've seen long term El Nino, predictions in April not pan out where they think. So, again, it always. Some people get tired of it. Only takes one. It only takes one, but that's really it. I mean. Idalia, 23, we had 22 storms that year, and Idalia was really the only one that hit, and it affected a lot of folks.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you're so right. I mean, even, again, this past year, we saw the devastation that happened with Jamaica, with Melissa. But, I mean, obviously, this far in advance, we're getting some indication, obviously, about El Nino and the wind shear, and especially the wind shear. I actually want to get your take on this, because they were looking at this, and it's one of the top 2 potentially strongest wind shears that we could be dealing with since 1981, I believe. And so in your experience, I mean, there are ways to counteract, obviously, the wind shear, but how big of a role does it play in the formation and the tearing apart of hurricanes?
Well, it does. I always compare it to that old stacking toy that we all played with the rings. The atmosphere is a bunch of levels of air, and when you have a lot of strong winds above, it kind of just rips it apart. And it's fluid though. These periods of strong jet streams that we're going to be dealing with, sometimes they can dip a little low. That's when Michael had an opportunity in Idalia. So I even talked with some folks at the hurricane conference last week from down in Miami, and they, every storm can still find a little pocket. It's like we talk about the Saharan air layer. Nobody's really talked about the dust yet, but storms still figure out a way. And I'm not, I'm not predicting, an active season. It's just, I've seen these forecasts come out, people let their guards down, and then boom, we have something to worry about. And that's why it's important to have a plan. I was never one to tell people to have a plan, but when all of a sudden you got something coming your way, then you get in panic mode and you're like, what am I supposed to do? I don't even know what zone I'm in. I don't know where to go. So it is important. I've matured a lot in telling people have a plan, because especially in Florida, a lot of us are kind of, I don't know, we're stubborn, and you think, been there, done that, until a day before, and you're like, okay, now what? I have no gas.
Right. And it's so easy to do that. I mean, it's always better to be safe than sorry. And you're right. You just always have to have a plan in place, even when you don't want to. But it's good to do it early in the season so you don't panic when something does happen, or if something does happen. And I'm curious, too, because we talked a little bit about the ocean temperatures. And, I mean, there has been that trend of warm oceans drastically increasing the number of hurricanes. Could that potentially happen, in the next 10, 15 years? I mean, we have seen really warm oceans. We saw that last year, and now with El Niño in the Pacific. And, in the coming years, do you think other factors are going to play a larger role than just the temperatures?
Well, you're right. Fuel is definitely off of that ocean heat content. And some of these past super El Niños, the waters were definitely a lot cooler. Everyone looks at 30-year anomaly maps, and 23, the water was warm, and it kind of offset a little bit of what the prediction was, So I do think it all comes down to that water temp. Now, last year we had these fronts that came down and steered everything away from the U.S. If those fronts didn't come down, we would have been looking at 3 majors, and that water temperature, rapid intensification seems like it's happening more. And you don't have to remind everybody that sometimes a weak tropical system can do way worse with flooding, and that's always that possibility too. So it doesn't take a major hurricane to cause major impacts. And you're right, that water temp, unless it goes down dramatically, long range, it looks like it's just inching up there.
Something we're going to have to be watching out for. But, whatever happens, we are going to be on it. I know you will be on it, too. Hurricane season is right around the corner. Again, Mike Boylan, thank you again for joining us this afternoon or this evening. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.